Do you have a story you want to share with the world? Maybe an amazing adventure or a wacky comedy? Well, here's your chance. See, we're looking for awesome creators like you to partner with our app so we can bring more great stories to life. And what's more, you can earn money while you're at it. So if you love making videos and want to help us make the best content for kids, visit the website below to learn how you can get started today. Once upon a time in the land of Flamecrest, there lived a family of dragons. Now dragons are known for lots of things: being scaly, having big wings, and breathing fire. Oh boy, do they love fire. Every night the dragons would roast marshmallows over a bonfire, giggle at each other's funny faces in the flickering flames, and they'd wave their tails so that sparks flew from their ends like fireworks. It was no wonder the dragons of Flamecrest were so happy, and the reason their town was called Flamecrest. But one little dragon wasn't too fond of fire. In fact, she hated it. Every time the others wanted to play with fire, she hid behind her mom's tail until they went to sleep. Then she would come out and watch the moon paint silver stripes across the dark sky. She loved watching fluffy white clouds float by and drift into silly shapes, and she loved chasing beautiful blue butterflies through fields of flowers. She also liked sneezing. She sneezed when she was happy, sad, surprised, or whenever she smelled something yummy, like Mrs. Mangrove's fried fish. And every time she sneezed, little sparkles shot out of her nostrils and landed on the clouds, turning them pink, orange, and yellow. Now this little dragon's name was Daisy, and even though she was only 5 years old, she was already the village's biggest problem. You see, the dragons of Flamecrest didn't just breathe fire. They used their fire for everything. They roasted marshmallows, lit up the town lamps, and even warmed bathwater with their flames. But without Daisy's fire, the dragon families could only light 3 of the 5 lamps at night, and their town square smelled like dirty socks. What's worse, Daisy didn't like the smell of smoke, which meant she couldn't join her friends in the evenings when they played flashlight tag between the houses, hiding behind lampposts and making shadows dance on the walls. A dragon who doesn't breathe fire. That's just weird, said Sparky, the smallest dragon in school. The other dragons agreed, and Daisy's feelings would get as crumpled as an old piece of parchment. Once during art class, Daisy was painting a picture of a purple sunset when Sparky peeked over her shoulder. "Why are you drawing something that's not even real?" he asked. "There are no purple sunsets here, only orange ones." He was right, Daisy thought sadly, dipping her brush into a jar of black paint. Just then, Miss Ember walked by. "What's that smudge on your paper?" she asked. Daisy sighed. "I was trying to draw a sunset, but it's not orange. And Sparky says nothing's purple around here, except maybe you. If you want to paint a real sunset, you'll have to close your eyes. Turn around and paint what you see." Confused, Daisy closed her eyes, spun around and dipped her brush into the brightest color she could think of, pink. When she opened her eyes, she saw she'd painted a perfect copy of the sky outside. Miss Amber smiled. "That's wonderful, Daisy. You have a real talent for capturing the colors of the sunset. It's magical. Why would you want to waste it pretending to draw a boring old orange sunset when you can paint a masterpiece like this one?" Daisy beamed, feeling braver than she ever had before. And that's when she learned she didn't need to be like everybody else. She was already special, just the way she was. Then Daisy grew up. She learned how to read ancient scrolls and found out that long ago, dragons came in many different colors, shapes, and sizes. Some were good at breathing fire, while others could change the weather with a flick of their tails. Some were really smart, and others super strong. Over time, dragons had forgotten about all the different kinds, thinking that all dragons were like them. Poor Daisy. She felt more alone than a butterfly, without any flowers to land on. One day, a terrible wind blew through the village, howling like a hungry wolf. Daisy peeked out of her house and gasped. A dark mist covered Flamecrest, blocking out the sun and putting out all the fires. The other dragons panicked. Without their fire, they couldn't see, couldn't cook, and couldn't fly safely through the dark. They flapped their wings frantically, bumping into each other and making the mist thicker. "We're trapped," cried Sparky, hiding behind Daisy's leg. "We'll never find food now, and what if a monster comes and sees how weak we are? We have no fire to protect us." Daisy stood tall. She might not have been the strongest or smartest dragon, but she was braver than she'd ever been before. "Don't worry, Sparky. I may not have fire, but I have light," she said. She spread her glittery wings as wide as she could and flapped them slowly at first, then faster and faster. At first, her glow was small, but then it grew until it filled the sky. The clouds shimmered pink, orange, and yellow. The mist began to fade, and the town lamps flickered back to life. The other dragons stared in amazement as the sky turned the colors of the sunset, and the trees and bushes sparkled with 1,000 lights. Then suddenly, something amazing happened. The butterflies appeared. Dozens and dozens of them fluttered around Daisy and sang, "You're the most beautiful dragon in the world, Daisy. You're the most beautiful dragon in the world." Reassured by the butterflies and the colorful sky, the dragons calmed down. Sparky was the first to break the silence. Daisy, you can't possibly be the most beautiful dragon in the world," he said. "I mean, I am. I breathe fire. I can light up the whole sky with fireworks. Can you?" Daisy shook her head. "No, but I can make the clouds shimmer and the butterflies dance," she said with a smile. From that day on, no one in Flamecrest ever said that Daisy was weird for not breathing fire again. In fact, they named her the village's light keeper, and she became famous for her beautiful sunsets and sparkling clouds. The end. Hey there, little dreamers. Did you like this story? Let me know in the comments. Once upon a time, there was a young girl who didn't fit in. She didn't like to wear fancy clothes or play with dolls. She much rather stay inside and read books. All the other kids said she was weird, but she didn't care. She knew she was special, just the way she was. Sometimes being different is scary, but it can also be pretty neat. So if someone ever calls you weird, just remember, you're not alone. There are lots of other weird kids out there who are just like you. And hey, that's okay, because it's what makes us special. Thanks for watching. See you next time.